escalating geopolitical issues in Europe. So what I'm trying to say is this is the global scenario which is around us. And similarly, in India also we are going through a huge political debate about the nature of institutions and also the nature of participation of various communities. I mean, we have three issues between center and state in various states. We've seen in the past in the state of Bengal. Very recently, we are seeing this issue happening in Kerala. In fact, today's headlines are most newspapers, especially in English media, are covered by headlines in the issues between the governor in Kerala and the executive in Kerala. Even in our states, also in the state of Telangana, also we are seeing issues between between the center and the state. So what I'm trying to say is that this is a very opportune time for us to discuss the list of topics which you have selected for this seminar, and I'm very sure that the participants who are presenting the papers as well as the participants who are participating in this discussion seminar which is surrounded by this will bring in a lot of clarity about the issues, because if democracy has to function, the paramount importance is of people's participation. Democracy is the rule of the people. Is the rule of the people and the rule of the law. So people are the fundamental pillars of any democracy, and participation of people is of very paramount importance. And if we are missing certain communities and groups who are not able to participate fully in our democracy, then I would say that we are not making full impact of our democracy felt across the people it is supposed to impact. And that's why it's very important to find models so that more and more participation can happen from vulnerable groups and also the marginalized communities, and their voices are heard, and not only heard but they are also influential, and then create an impact for changing their lives for the better. So this is I would say very pertinent topic. Also, since you have also discussed about the role of the associations and especially media,
इनको भी लूँगा
critical importance, especially from Indian context and also global context. Media is becoming increasingly concentrated in the hands of few influential corporate houses and few influential individuals. We are seeing this happening. You see this happen in the US, where if you see most of the mainstream media, I would not name the channels of the newspapers, but if you look at
वीडियो वाला क्या भी नहीं, खाली सामने देखता हाँ मर जान दो गिर जान दो कुछ भी ना होता, जिम जा रहे हम.
is also being tried to be taken over by again a large corporate house. So similar issues also there in the Indian context also, where whether we look at our vernacular media or Hindi media across the country or even the English media, we can actually identify
पूरे आना रहे
political party or a particular corporate house or a particular individual. And I think that is something which is very dangerous for because the public does not get the neutral reporting and neutral voices which should give. And this is happening across all across. I cannot say this is concentrated
कैमरा अपना अच्छा फोटो लेंगे.
Also, a lot of questions have been asked about the independence of certain institutions, whether it is in states or also in the center. And we've seen these institutions increasingly clashing each other in various places, and this is also widely reported. So I think the session which you planned would definitely throw light on issues related with this, and maybe also come up with some kind of solution and some kind of models as to how do we move forward in order to make our institutions and make independent reporting possible in our country. And with these few words, I thank you for inviting me. I was supposed to be physically present on all of you in Lega, but due to the Chief Secretary's meeting here, I was unable to travel. But I convey my best wishes to all of you who are participating in it, that your thought process will definitely help to bring in clarity on this issue and this debate which is happening in our country and in that world. And I thank all the organizers who have taken pains to organize this seminar today in Government Degree College, Hyderabad. With these few words, I hand over back to the anchor for the proceedings.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Yes, sir. If you continue your regular.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Very good, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, all the dignitaries, guests and delegates who are present in the one-day national seminar on political engagement underprivileged communities, authoritative allocation of value in India. I express my heartfelt thanks to our principal sir, Aslam Farooqi sir, for giving me this opportunity to be part of this seminar. Thank you very much, Farooqi sir. Now I invite Dr. Muhammad Aslam Farooqi, the principal and the chairperson of today's national seminar, to please come on this stage. Our principal is very compassionate, visionary, research-oriented, and mentor for academic and administrative matters. The whole campus is vibrating, echoing the prominence. Please give warm welcome to our principal. Now, I request Dr. Aisha Begum to present her bouquet to see. Now, I welcome our special guest of today, Professor Sunny Fatima Madam, Director UC HRD Manu, on behalf of the management, staff and students. We thank for precious presence, Madam. Thank you very much, Madam. Now I request Kiranmai Madam to present the book. Now Now I cordially invite our guest of honor, Professor Afroz Alam, Sir, Head, Department of Political Science, Manu, to occupy the honorable chair on the stage. Now I request Dr. P. Surinder to offer a bouquet to Sir. I cordially invite Dr. V. Ravindra Reddy Garu, Vice Principal and Academic Coordinator of this college, to grace us. I humbly invite our special guest of today, Professor Muzaffar Asadi, Dean Faculty of Arts, Mysore University, to the desk. I thank him for providing his gracious presence to join us today to enhance our joy. We welcome you, sir. Now I request Vidya Sagar sir to offer a bouquet to Muzaffar sir. Now, I invite Professor Ganesh sir. Yes. Principal Arts College onto the desk, Usmania University. I request Ramalu sir to offer a bouquet.
ऊपर ठहर के ले लेंगे।
Now I invite our principal, Dr. V. Ravindra Reddy, to give the welcome.
Good morning, everybody. So I welcome you all, the dignitaries of the dais, and the president of this, chairperson of this seminar, our honorable principal, Dr. Aslam Farooqi sir, and all the dignitaries on the dais, and the seminar convener, Dr. Mohammad Ghosh sir,
जी मैम।
and my dear students, I welcome everyone to this one-day national seminar. So I would like to say a few things about our college. So our college, Government Degree College, Zahirabad, is affiliated to Usmania University, working under the Commissionerate of College Education, Telangana State. So the college was established in the year 1991, and the college got 2F and 12B in 2012 and 13. And the courses offered in our college are BA, BCom and BSc. And the medium of instructions here are English medium, Telugu medium, and Urdu medium also. And the students intake in first year is 480 students. At present, we have total students is 642. And in first year, we got 292 so far admissions in first year in our college. So it is BA, BCom and BSc groups. And recently, our college went for NAC grade, NAC second cycle, and we got B plus grade in the NAC with grade, which is GPA of 2.65. And the teaching staff of our college is 19 members, teaching faculty, and non-teaching we have 12 members. And college results are around 75%. And we have so many programs we are taking up here, so many research methods, Jignasa project, and we got prizes in Jignasa project, that is a research program taken up by the Commission of College Education. And here we have NSS also. We have 3 NSS units. And we have PSKC, Skill Knowledge Center. And we are also conducting regularly job melas. And also we got some state awards. Some students got state awards also. So this I would like to say. And particularly today's occasion is the one-day national seminar being organized by the Department of Political Science under the chairmanship of Dr. Aslam Farooqi sir. And the convener is Dr. Mohammad Ghaus sir. And co-convener is Dr. Surendra sir. So really, I appreciate the Department of Political Science for taking up all the pains to organize this one-day national seminar being funded by our RUSA, ICSSR, and other higher education council also. So the topic of this national seminar is political engagement of underprivileged communities, authoritative elected values in India. So this is a very good topic. This is a very much need of the hour. Really, it's a great topic. Also, we have read this about our commissioners are also appreciated very much. The topic taken by our department, particularly our political department, Colonel Mohammad Ghaus sir. I appreciate you, sir, because this is a debate is going on throughout the world. What is democracy? What are the values? Everybody should get the share in the democracy. Everyone should take part in the political parties, and you should get elected to the bodies like MLA, MP, or MLC. All the bodies, everyone should represent. Whether it is in, whether it is any minorities or BCs or OBC, SC, ST, all communities should share. They are in the administrative part of our country. I think that is the main motive of taking up this issue. And thank you very much, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Varanda.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I welcome Dr. Mohammad Ghaus sir to brief about the objective
Respected chairperson of this seminar, Dr. Aslam Farooqi sir. So I should say the hero of academics, Professor Muzaffar Asadi sir. Really, we are proud of you, sir. I think the major pain you have taken to arrive from the Kashmir, I think, from Karnataka and New Delhi. He arrived in Manu by 9 o'clock night, and after traveling more than 100 kilometers, you have been here, sir. Thank you so much, sir. आपका दिल की गहराइयों से इस्तकबाल है. Professor Tasneem Madam, Director UGC Manu, और academics में हमारे role model. If you list out the best professors of political science in India, so you may found that he is within 5 or 6 in the country. So thank you so much, sir. Really, he changed the Department of Political Science in Manu into the JNU and more than JNU, sir. So, aapka istiqbal hai, sir. Thank you so much. And I should mention the acceptance of Professor Ganesh, sir. So So very short call within 5 or 10 minutes. Professor Ganesh sir has accepted our invitation and heartfully actually appreciated over the phone only, sir. Then we have met our principal through principal and we have invited you formally, sir. Thank you so much. So actually the time is running very fast and all this happened here through one personality who is Dr. P. Vakkatamna sir, the great personality of the political science fraternity. मैं आपसे गुजारिश करता हूं कि उनका तालियों के साथ यहाँ इस्तकबाल किया जाए. डॉक्टर पी वेंकटरमण सर is a fraternity of political science and now principal government degree college Chanchalguda. And Dr. V. Ravindra, just you have been heard about the college development and about the progress of the college. You have seen that within short period after his joining and the principal joining this college, the college has been blinking and so much like glittering like a gold here. मैं हमारे प्रिंसिपल साहब के एफर्ट्स को अप्रिशिएट करता हूं सर. दुआ करता हूं कि आपका साया हमारे सर पर तादिर कायम रहे. और this is the national seminar. Objectives. Just I have explained to honorable commissioner sir. I have only 2 or 3 minutes, but I have taken encroached 5 more minutes. This seminar have been divided into 3 technical sessions. After this inaugural session, we have 1 plenary session, sir. Professor Afroz Alam will chair you. I request all the students. I request all the students to keep quiet and maintain silence. Hello. I request all the students to maintain silence. The scholars who have been come over here from across the country, you please listen their debates, listen their deliberations, please listen their arguments, and note down. I definitely hope that it will be fruitful in your further progression of your life and research also. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, guests and delegates. Come over here. Professor Jagannatham, who have come here, he is proud of this college. He is a student of this college. Now he is working in Central University of Gujarat. Thank you so much, sir. And all the delegates, all the resource persons, all the paper presenters who have came here. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking speech. Now I invite Professor Aziz Alam, Afroz Alam. This one. Afroz Alam, sir.
Assalamualaikum. And good morning. The president of today's inaugural session, Aslam Farooqi Sahab, and Professor Muzaffar Asadi Sahab, our mentor. Today's our chief guest, Professor Saneem Fatima, Professor Ganesh Sahab, and all the students and friends sitting off the dais. आपके कॉलेज में आना ऐसा लगता है कि मैं अपने घर आया हूं. ब्यूटीफुल. और कॉन्फ्रेंस और सेमिनार वो मौके होते हैं जहां हम अपने अपने नजरिए का एक्सचेंज करते हैं, अपने अपने सोचों का, अपने अपने ख्यालों का, अपने नजरिए का, अपने फिक्र का हम एक्सचेंज करते हैं, बातें करते हैं और किसी नतीजे पर पहुंचते हैं, ताकि जो हमारी बातें हों वो मुल्क की तरक्की में काम आए, नई बहस कायम हो और आपका डिसिप्लिन, आपका मुल्क, आपका समाज आगे बढ़े. तो आज का जो मौजू हमें दिख रहा है that कि पॉलिटिकल एंगेजमेंट ऑफ अंडर प्रिविलेज कम्युनिटीज, सबसे जो हाशिए पर खड़ा समाज है उनके साथ हमारा सियासी राबता कैसा हो,
सर अब ठहरे
या हमें ऐसा क्या करना चाहिए जिससे जो हाशिए पर खड़ा समाज है, जो पसमानदा तबका है, उसको मेन स्ट्रीम में लाया जा सके।
बंद कर देंगे सर।
और उस पे एक आपको जैसे ही ये सवाल खड़ा होता है हमारे जहन में, तो आप देखेंगे कि जो दूसरी लाइन है आपके सेमिनार का, ऑथोरिटेटिव एलोकेशन ऑफ वैल्यूज, यानी कि जो लोग अथॉरिटी में हैं, जो लोग फैसले साजी के काम को अंजाम देते हैं, जो लोग कानून बनाते हैं, जो नीतियां बनाते हैं, जब ये सब काम करें तो उस जो समाज में जो प्रिविलेजेस जैसे नौकरियों का देना, जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को बिल्डिंग करना हो, बुनियादी जरूरतों को पूरा करना हो, तो जब इसकी वो तकसीम करें तो उन हाशिए पर खड़े लोगों को जहन में रखें दैट द रिवॉर्ड्स ऑफ द स्टेट शैल गो टू द पुअरेस्ट ऑफ द पुअर। और मार्जिनलाइज्ड सेक्शंस की जब हम बात करते मींस द वेरी एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ द स्टेट लाइज इन दैट बेसिक मिनिमम नीड्स ऑफ एवरीवन।
तुम जाके एक नंबर बैठे,
हमारी बुनियादी जरूरतें पूरी हो, कौन पूरा करेगा? पूरा वो करेंगे जो इसके ऊपर काबिज है, बिकॉज स्टेट इज हैविंग द मोनोपोली ओवर द रिसोर्सेज। So we expect that the state should distribute the resources, and when the state is distributing, it should take care of the marginalized section of the society. So who is marginalized? सवाल ये है कि हमें शिनाख्त करनी है कि वो पसमानदा तबका कौन है, वो हाशिए पर खड़ा तबका कौन है जो इस तरक्की की दौड़ में पीछे रह गया। वो कौन लोग हैं जिनके पास इतने भी वसाइल नहीं हैं कि वो अपने बच्चों को पढ़ा सकें। 2000 फीस जमा करने के लिए कितनी टेढ़ी खीर खींचनी पड़ती है, कितनी मेहनत करना पड़ता है एक फैमिली को। उस तबके का ख्याल स्टेट रखे, उनके हर घर में, सभी के घरों में छत हो। तो ये जब बातें आती हैं कि एवरी family should have a house to live, everyone should have food to eat, every student, be girls and boys, should be able to educate, should be able to make use of the best opportunities। ये जो मौके हैं ये कहां से मिले? जब इनके तबके हम देखते हैं कि क्यों लोग हैं जिनके पास घर नहीं, पैसे नहीं पढ़ने के, तो हमें लगता है कि समाज के कुछ तबकात हैं वो पीछे छूट गए हैं, उसमें अक़लियत भी आती है। That the Muslim communities, the Dalits, the tribals, the women, ये सारे वो लोग हैं जो मूल धारा से नहीं जुड़ पा रहे हैं। They are not able to do better despite having all the resources available at the disposal of the state. These communities are not able to make fair share. उनको वो बराबर की हिस्सेदारी नहीं मिल रही है। अगर नहीं मिल रही है तो स्टेट को एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट करने की जरूरत है। गवर्नमेंट, स्टेट पॉलिसी मेकर्स, इंस्टीट्यूशन शुड कम फॉरवर्ड for those who are left behind। तो इन चीजों को पूरा करने के लिए कि ये सेमिनार, मुझे लगता है कि गौस साहब जब ये तैयार कर रहे होंगे तो जहन में ये होगा कि कुछ ऐसे बहस हो जहां पे आवाम के अंदर, आप लोगों के अंदर एक बेदारी पैदा हो कि कहीं कुछ छूट रहा है, जिस पर आप बेदार हो ताकि आप सवाल करना सीखें। सेमिनार कॉन्फ्रेंसेस का एक अहम मकसद यह भी होता है कि आपके अंदर एक तनकीदी मिजाज पैदा हो, जहां पर आप सवाल कर सकें कि हमें एजुकेशन मिलनी चाहिए, नहीं मिल रही है, हमें घर मिलना चाहिए, नहीं मिल रहा है। क्यों? ये बात कहां सीखी? क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्कॉलर्स पूरी इंडिया से बुलाए गए, उन्होंने अपनी अपनी बातें कही, अपनी तहकीक को आपके सामने रखा, जिससे आपके अंदर सलाहियत पैदा हो कि आप सवाल कर सकें। यही इस सेमिनार का मकसद होना भी चाहिए। एक नया इस सेमिनार का पर्पस ये भी हो कि हम अपने बहस मुबाहिसे से एक नए तरीके का एक रास्ता सरकारों को सुझाएं कि ये रास्ते हैं जिस पर सरकार को अपनी नीतियां बनानी चाहिए, जिससे जो पीछे रह गए हैं, जो अंडर प्रिविलेज सेक्शंस हैं, उसको मूल धारा से जोड़ा जा सके। मुझे उम्मीद है कि ये सेमिनार बहुत अच्छा करेगा और आप अच्छे से सुनेंगे। हम सभी से सवाल पूछेंगे अलग अलग सेशंस में, ताकि हमारा भी जहन खुले, हम भी कुछ यहाँ से सीख के जाएं। शुक्रिया गौर साहब फॉर द अपॉर्चुनिटी। थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, sir. We are delighted to listen to your dynamic words. Now I invite Professor Sanni Fatima.
वो करे क्या हो?
Principal of the college, Government Degree College, Zahirabad, Dr. Muhammad Aslam Faruqi Sahab. Today's keynote speaker, his name is Muzaffar Asadi Sahab, Professor Ganesh Sahab, my colleague Professor Afroz Alam, Ravindra Reddy Garu, Vice Principal, and Gauss Sahab, Sabko Adab, and of the dais, the young India sitting here, सबको बहुत आदाब मेरा. A very good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
I need some response from you, whether you are listening to me. And I am addressing young India, tomorrow's India. I see a lot of girls here also. Please respond, reply back. A very good morning to all of you.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning. Basically, at the outset, I congratulate the Department of Political Science of this Government Degree College for choosing a topic which is so relevant and apt in today's scenario. That is political engagement of underprivileged communities, authoritative allocation of values in India. Before I share some of my experiences, let me address you all. I see most of the participants are young. What do we mean by marginalized communities? Those communities who are not on par with other people in the society in relationships or having some unequal power relationship across economic, political, social and cultural dimensions. And it is very saddening to note that even after 70 years of independence, today we have a large chunk of underprivileged communities. Somewhere here, it is our role comes in. We have to question and interrogate ourselves, why is this so? And I really appreciate the efforts of the Department of Political Science and the organizers for taking up this topic for deliberations and discussions today. We are also a part of it, a majority of us, if not all. Why so? What we need to do to mainstream them or to curtail the population of the underprivileged communities, and then how we can connect to the second part of the theme of the seminar. Now let us come what is political engagement. Political engagement is not just casting your vote during the time of elections. Political engagement participation includes a broad range of activities through which people develop and express their opinions on the world and how it is governed, and try to take part and shape the decisions that affect their own lives. Political participation includes a broad range of activities through which people develop and express their opinions on the world, how it is governed, and try to take part in the shape right from their grassroots levels. The leaders who are selected through political engagement, in turn, delegate to public, they give back to the public, and the public officials, the frontline providers, and many tasks of delivering public goods and services. These leaders also choose policies for citizen engagement in the business of the government. In India, the poor and disadvantaged castes vote proportionately more than the rich and the upper caste, and often more than those in developed democracies. Similarly, voter turnout is generally higher in rural areas than in cities. Not all elected state governments have pro-poor policies. For example, you can just refer the Google, surf the Google, or in the newspapers, every state has different policies. Like for example, Telangana government has the various policies. Maharashtra government has various policies. Most of them are proper, but with my little practical experience, I have been working in the Yadadri Bhuvanagiri district where we have adopted the Department of Management and Commerce, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, and I am the coordinator for that. We have adopted 5 villages, and recently with the students we have conducted a survey. To our surprise, we found that many of the households, they are not aware of the public policy, how best they can utilize them. What are these policies through which they can empower and develop themselves? So this fate of India's poor and marginalized in democratic process stems from the expectations of the state, which is required by law to provide fair opportunities to every citizen, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, and economic status, and to actively work to eliminate these barriers. The economic policies India pursued after independence gave the state the role of allocating resources universally across sectors and federal states and made it a major instrument of redistribution. In the last decade, pro-poor democratic politics have been strengthened through the recognition of various rights such as the right to education, to right to information, right to food and security through the National Food Security Act, to employment through the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, and to land through the right to fair compensation and transparency in land acquisition, rehabilitation and resettlement act, to name a few. Now, what are the authoritative allocation of values in India? David Easton defined political behavior as the authoritative allocation of values or the distribution of rewards in wealth, power and status that the system may provide. Politics can be defined as an authoritative allocation of values. The analysis came from David Easton. Now, we all observe that a family is the basic unit of society. The political setup, the families, the individuals are all a part of the society, which is an essential component of the environment. Now, let us have also a look at the nature of the public policy. It is very much evident that policy might take different procedures like legislation, executive orders or the official acts. They actually comprise a set of intentions or objectives, a combination of devices or means for the attainment of intentions, a description of governmental or non-governmental units indicated with the accountability of transporting out the intentions and distribution of resources for the necessary tasks like the day-to-day affairs, livelihood, education, employment. To recognize a public policy, it is very much needed to examine nature, what is happening around us. Why not? We always say that people who can afford, they are going to good colleges, good schools in the urban areas. People see urbanization. Why not? We have good schools. Are there not schools in people like in olden days, in the beginning of independence, we had very great scholars like Rabindranath Tagore, Nobel laureate, like C.V. Raman. They didn't go to any hi-fi schools. They were from simple government schools, and most of them studied in their mother tongue or the regional languages. Why don't we take an example from them? Yes, we need to interrogate ourselves and follow an example. So, to recognize a public policy, whether it is related to health or education or employment, it is very much needed to examine nature. What is that we have around us? What resources are available? Can't we not have rural BPOs in the rural India? Because more than 70% of population of India is rural population. We depend on agriculture, which is again very much dependent on the natural calamities. Why don't we connect that? Why can't we bring in technology? Why can't we bring in technology to improve agriculture? Now, a policy may contain specific or general, broad or narrow, simple or complex, public or private, written or unwritten, explicit or implicit, discretionary or detailed and quantitative or qualitative. It is upon us to understand, interpret and utilize उसे हम best इस्तेफादा कैसे कर सकते हैं, ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी होती है. Public policy contains major segments of actions like development policy, economic growth, socio-economic growth, equality, social justice, or any other such policy may be accepted by nation. To analyze the political systems operating in various societies, it takes into account all three implications of politics. That includes political activity, political process, and political power. Political activity include all the activities involved in conflict resolution or in the struggle of power. Because everybody, they look for power, but we see very few people, it may not be wrong to mention here, towards leadership. Who can lead us? The political activity includes all activities. Politics being a struggle for power or a process, conflict resolution through use of legitimate power involves a study of power or power relations in society. The political process gets information and signals from the environment and then changes such information and signals into authoritative values which we ourselves call as public policy or governance. Today, we have a distinguished learned guests and researchers who will be deliberating during the course of the day another subject matter of this seminar. Wishing you all the very best and thank you for this opportunity. Have a good day. Thank you.
Your speech has made us realize important aspects of public policy, economic policies, growth, and political acting. And thank you very much, madam. Now I invite Professor Muzaffar Asadi, Dean Faculty of Arts, Mysore University, onto the dais to address the gallery. Thank you, sir. Keynote address of the seminar. Yes, sir.
Let me say adab to everybody. But I'm sorry that my Urdu is Dehati Urdu. So I can't speak that Urdu because I've been, become victim of that language. So I would prefer to speak in English. Try to be very simple. I'll try to use the simple English if possible. Please bear with that one. Friends of the dais, and I call you young buddies of the future of the dais.
इधर से
पूरा किला to see maximum number of girls here, which obviously mean that girls are not marginalized anymore. So we have a perception that they're all marginalized. But if you look at the number here around with the traditional attire, which obviously mean that they are arrived. They have arrived as a force to be reckoned with in Indian context. What I'm trying to look at the whole issue about the political engagement and the communities. I'm trying to look at how the communities have been marginalized. Unlike my honorable previous speaker who brought the public policy as one of the metaphor, one of the major engagement to understand the community's Indian context. That's a wonderful, what's called beginning of understanding the policies as the result for the emergence of the marginalized community and to how to overcome this the syndrome of backwardness. I got 2 or 3 premises in which I try to start my whole argument. One premise is that the marginalized communities are political construct. It's a political construct more than the social construct. Social construct may be historical, what's called the historical way in which these communities have been constructed. So that's one premise. I'll come back to that when the political construct of the communities. Second important thing is that the democratic spaces with the inclusiveness of the marginalized communities would increase, that kind of argument is a half truth. Our project of the democracy is not complete. It is still going on because it is now engaged with the other non-democratic forces. You need to situate the marginalized community in the context of the conflict emerging between the democratic forces and the non-democratic forces. In that way, in the whole process, what will happen to these minority communities or what is called the marginalized communities? Third important thing is that the argument that the minority or the majority, what is called the marginalized communities are homogeneous is a half truth. There are minute subcastes, minute subcommunities within the larger communities. They are also hankering for the what's called the social status, and they are trying to become a dominant communities as such. We live in a situation of what is called the binary opposition, the dominant, non-dominant, backward, the forward, and other things. That's a hallmark of the democracy as such. But the thing is that, are we looking at the marginalized communities as a part of the post-independence India? I think that kind of perception is again and again reproduced. Again and again, brought to our notice. If you look at the way the narrations have been created or the discourse have been created or constructed, which try to say that post-India is responsible for the marginality of the communities, which I would say that is a half-truth. Given the fact that most of the communities were politically constructed. For example, the argument about the SCs, scheduled caste. The very word of the scheduled caste was a political construct. It is not a social construct. Because a scheduled caste is a component of many castes. There are more than 100 castes. I'll come back to that a little later. Why these communities are different from one region to the another. So in that case, we don't have a single homogeneous argument with regard to the scheduled caste. They were the construct of the colonialism. They were the construct of the political. In 1935, when the British they brought in the issues about the reservation, that time they constructed this argument of scheduled caste and also the scheduled tribes. So earlier, Ambedkar used the category called the Bahishkrit Samaj. Bahishkrit Samaj was nothing but a community of Anamana category, which Alberoni talked about in his Indica long back. I think, Alberoni talked about his book, thousands of years back, when he was writing about India, Alberoni. He came out with a concept called Antyaja. Antyaja is out of the orbit of the caste. Antyaja had absolutely no power, no standing, no political standing. Even that he was denied of the social rights, living inside the places of the upper caste. See, Anavana is a category that was constructed. Imagine in 1100 when Alberoni was writing about India's geography, India's history and other things. Or even if you read Agasthenes, who came along with Alexander the Great, or Arian, who came along with the Alexander forces, they divided the Indian history into Indian social categories into seven categories, which include the Antyajas, including the Dalits and other. Even though he did not use the word Dalit, he used a term called the Shudra, and also used a term called the Sophist. Sophists were not the excluded category, but rather they are the included category. Or take the case of the Kautilya's Arthashastra, wherein Kautilya uses a term called the Chandalas, which was not available, that kind of category was not available earlier. Chandals are those categories which are outside the realm of the caste. They are absolutely no social rights. So these kind of categories were created. I would call them as a political construct as well, even though you might say that they were all the social categories. But no, I would say that they are the political construct. Regimes constructed, Manu constructed, Kautilya constructed. If you read Manu's Madharma Shastra, you find even Vyadyavartaswati, you find these social categories being constructed. It was construction of the regime. It was the construction of the political. And how do you look at the Muslims? That's a funny argument, and it's quite obvious to understand this. Muslims were the marginalized categories. Well, you might say that Muslims became marginalized category after independence. That was completely wrong. They were marginalized after 1857. Remember that one. Particularly after 1887, Muslims, particularly the minorities, were now the ruling classes. They controlled the state power. They controlled the different, land, the properties and other things. Suddenly, colonial state, Britishers, they did the experiment for, displacing them from the power. Except in the case of the Telangana, rest of India, including Karnataka. In Karnataka, it happened after 1799, after the fall of Srirangapatnam. But in rest of India, they were slowly displaced. They were slowly replaced as a ruling class. For example, like they were replaced through the means of public policies, to use her term, or they were replaced through the means of different orders. For example, the language was replaced. Persian language was replaced by the English language. So majority of the Muslims, they lost the jobs. They lost the jobs even in the courts. The qazis were replaced by the colonial, judges. They disbanded the Muslim military forces. They converted the land into private property and made the tax an imminent thing, compulsory for the communities to pay. What happened with 1857, that was the first war of independence, to the 1887, there are reports. It is not just because of the Macaulay's introduction of the English that displaced the Muslims, that made the Muslims to become the marginalized community, but rather a larger number of issues, the policies that the Britishers they introduced. By 1887, they became beggars. They became subaltern classes. In Karnataka and other places, by 1799, they became the subaltern classes. That's the reason why in 1884, they were all put in what is called the basket of backward classes, backward caste. And this political construct, I would say that they are the Muslims as a minority was a political construct. So suddenly the ruling class became minority, and they were again and again treated as a minorities alone, not the majority, neither the powerful ruling class and other things. This construction went on. It is not only to the Muslims alone, but to the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. Because one thing is that, if you look at it, I would say that political, was there any kind of political engagement that the Muslims, SCs and the STs, they had with the political regimes? If you look at the history of colonialism, the census reports, gazetteers, or other reports of the colonial period, you find the political engagement taking place in different ways. They were not asking for the allocation then, authoritative allocation, even though it came to the reservation policy in
भारत
1935.
में क्या मालूम
Remember that allocation was not only confined to the British. British 1935 gave the reservation to the Dalits and the tribals, which included the Dalit Muslim as well. But in fact, it was not the colonial power only they allowed this value to the communities. Like for example, the state like princely state like Kolhapur, Travancore, or the case of the Mysore state, they came out with the reservation policy. Remember that made large number of communities, even though to become part of the political engagement or to become the part of the state, that doesn't mean that completely changed the social scape of the Muslims, social scapes of the scheduled caste. Why I'm saying that, if you read the European Union report of a couple of years back, even after the political, what's called the reservation, even after the wonderful land policies, introducing the land policies, or even after introducing what's called the reservation policies, the status of the Dalits has remained the same. For example, two things. If you hear there are two things. If you read the European Union report on Dalits, one is that 85% of the Dalits, they are still living without any spaces in the market. 85%, the equal number of Dalits, they are being denied the access to water, a well, market, labor, other things. And interestingly, more than 53% of population were living below the poverty line. How is it possible? You got a wonderful land reforms beginning with the 1960s, 1950s, 60s. In first we have got the what's called Zamindari Abolition Act, followed by what is called the Tenancy Act, then followed by Land to the Tunga. Despite wonderful land policies in different states, why the Dalits remain the same? Or take the case of the Muslims. Muslims, the Sachar Committee reports say they have standard remain almost as that of that Dalits. Remember, they got the reservation in the 1920s. But today, 2009, 2005, Muslim, even after that, even after the Sachar Committee report, there are other reports like the Kundu Committee report. They started saying that Muslims' position has not changed a little bit. Why? Take the case of the Dalits, take the case of the Muslims, take the case of the tribals. You got a wonderful policy. The policy called the Forest Wellness Act. Forest Wellness Act would have given them the land, would have given them the what's called historical rights to live in the forest, would have given them the cultural rights. But they have not been able to overcome from their backwardness. Or they take the case of the OBCs. More than 49% of the OBCs are still below the poverty line. The question becomes accurate. One question is that why they are still economically backward, even though they have been the political construct by the state. Why they are very, very backward? What made them to push into the history of backwardness? One argument that can be provided to the scheduled caste is the fact that the land reforms that were supposed to bring a paradigm shift in their lifestyle did not bring it. For the simple reason that they all became owner cultivators. They did not become the landlords, but owner cultivators. owner cultivated with small patches of land. Imagine a Dalit who is continuously plowing the land, agricultural land. Imagine he gets only 200 meters of land as a compensation. Do you expect him to become an economic category? Do you expect him to become what's called the powerful category? No. This is the reason why Dalits, despite the 53% of them, were became owner cultivator, as per Toret's argument, but they could not be able to overcome from their poverty. They remain backward. How do you look at these scheduled tribes? And in that case, the whole question becomes very accurate. What kind of political engagement? Is there any kind of paradigm shift between the the political engagement of the scheduled caste, knowing very well that, right from 1920s, when their political engagement mediated through the Ambedkar, and also this engagement also mediated through the different organizations, civil society groups, political parties and other things. Whether that engagement has completely come to a state, and whether what happened to this political engagement. If you look at the way the political engagement shifted from Maharashtra, Ambedkar, to Mayavati. Mayavati started the political engagement, but that doesn't mean that political engagement is exclusively, forming the political party. They engaged through the civil society activism. They engaged through what is called the political strikes. Asking for the also engagement also done through the what is called pressurizing politics. There were nearly, I would say, if you look at the Gandhian, strategies that were employed, I think there are nearly 198 forms of political engagement in India. Strike is a part of the political engagement. Long march is a part of political engagement. Look at the Jodo, Bharat Jodo is a part of the political engagement. Drowning in the river, like in Narmada Bachao Andolan, is a part of the political engagement. Throwing stones in Kashmir is also part of the political engagement. The forms are different, it's not the same. We believe that the political engagement is through only the reservation, or political engagement only through the dialogue. No, that is wrong, actually. It is not only the dialogue is a form of political engagement. Negotiation is a form of engagement. Discourse is a form of political engagement. Even if you talk about the politics, probably you youngsters might talk about Rahul Gandhi's Bharati Jodo. That's a part of the political engagement. You are strengthening the democracy. You are interacting with the democratic space. You are demanding a democratic space for yourself. Look at, for example, in my own place, I am from Udupi, where one of my relatives, one girl, Muslim girl, she started the issue of the burqa, hijab. Raising the issue of hijab itself a political engagement. Talking about space for the women, autonomy for the women, autonomy for the girls, asking for the constitutional rights. They are the part of the political engagement, whether that Supreme Court will give the verdict in their favor or not. They are now engaged in the political issues. You cannot have the stereotypes about the girls. You cannot think in terms of the, pushing the women, again and again in the name of religion. All kinds of debates are coming up. What I'm trying to say that look at scheduled caste, despite the best possible, what's called the policies and other things, they are still backward. Or take the case of the Muslims. Muslims, if you look at the Sachar Committee report or Ranganath Mishra Committee report, both most important reports, they say that Muslims are most backward, comparable to the OBCs as well as the Dalits. Why? One thing they were become backward, and that's the reason they are not being able to engage, as a strong political force. For example, like how many Muslim MPs are there in the parliament, despite the fact that the Muslim population is around 14%. Take the case of the state legislatures, where every state has got 13% of population, but the representation is far less than 10%, less than 5% in some states. Uttar Pradesh, I doubt there is any Muslim except one in the cabinet. Parties that deny. The parties that deny what is called the seats to the Muslim. So one thing is that if you look at the Indian state, I think the Indian state, again and then reproduce a notion that the Muslim issues are very few. One is the Aligarh issue, second is the 370 issue, the third is the Go-Hatya,
योजित इसलिए जरा आते हैं क्या बिलाल को बुला दो मैं तेरा हाथ बंद कर
state focus on that particular issue. They did not bother about lifting the Muslims. They did not come out with any kind of policy measures so that the Muslims can be a part of the political system, despite the fact that the Muslim contribution is much more, both cultural and historical. So that's the reason why such a committee report came out. I would say that that committee report was nothing but the expression of the guiltiness of the state. For the first time, we began to argue that the Muslims are literally backward. Did it really help the Muslim? If you read the Amitabh Kundu's report, probably he also says that Muslims have not developed into a strong socio-economic category, but there are chances wherein they could be able to come up in the higher education level. For example, like the Maulana Azad residential schools or the fellowships, including the Maulana Azad University. That has helped the Muslim community to some extent. That doesn't mean that the community has totally benefited. But their engagement, what Afroz has referred to about the Pasmanda movement in Indian context, particularly in the Bihar and others. But they are very exceptional kind of thing. You have got the Qurayshis, their movement, Pasmanda movement, other Al-Jamaati movement and other things. These are involved in the engagement. But that engagement, for example, Pasmanda are asking for their representation, a reservation for the Muslims. In Karnataka, there is a demand for increasing the reservation from 4% to the 8%. They are the part of the political engagements. Can you call it as the autonomous space? Can you call it as the autonomous, what's called the voices of the Muslims? That's a question that remains unresolved. Or take the case of the tribals. Tribals, despite the fact that Indian state has introduced what we call the scheduled area rights, scheduled area act and other things. Forest Dwellers Act, for example, it brought in the Forest Dwellers Act. But what it did is, Indian state, why these tribes they remain backward is a fact that it clubbed scheduled tribes and the tribes, forest dwellers, forests particularly, forest tribes together. In fact, what happened is that all the benefits of the scheduled tribes, all the benefits of the tribes have been taken over by the scheduled tribes. The other tribes, particularly there are one or two communities, they have been appropriating. That's the reason what happened is that their engagement, tribal engagement is becoming literally violent, which is not the true case only in the post-independence India. If you go back in the history, colonial history, you find large number of tribals revolting against this one. That's what I'm trying to look at. The thing is that you have got the communities, or even though you have got the reservation policies, you got multiple policies vis-a-vis the caste and the communities. They are not being able to overcome. They are not being able to become a powerful category. So the power is most important. That's a political power and socio-economic power. And what happens is that engagement becomes either violent or non-violent. So there are not less than 198 forms of political engagements in an Indian context. So if they want to become the powerful categories, probably we need to have re-look into the policies with regard to the minorities, tribals, scheduled caste, OBCs and others. Otherwise what happens is that otherwise what happens is that they will be marginalized again and again. You know, in the context of in a contemporary context, you have got two engagements, you have two ideological, counter forces operating in India. On one side you have got the liberalism and democracy, and on the other hand you have got the far right, ideology operating. Paradoxically, these communities are, sandwiched between these two ideological streams. If these two ideological streams doesn't take into account the presence, probably they will be marginalized again and again. As Charles Taylor, one of the leading linguistic philosophers, as he argues that if you don't recognize the communities, whether through the reservation policy, whether through the public policy, or through different means, they will continue to remain as marginalized communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thought-provoking speech. I'm sure that all the participants have noted the important aspects of whatever you have spoken. Now I request our principal, sir, to give the chairman remarks. Thank you so much.
Asadi Sahab, respected Professor Afroz Alam Sahab, respected Professor C. Ganesh Sir, respected Sayum Fatima Madam, respected Mr. P. Venkatramana Sir, Principal GDC Zanjargura, Professor Jagannatham Sir, and other guests, Samira Madam, Rahman Dawoodi Sir, Dr. Nazirullah Sir, the paper presenters, faculty, non-teaching staff, press, print and electronic media persons, and dear students. Welcome you all to our college and the red soil of Zahirabad, which is famous for mango and ginger production and industries like Mahindra, Mungi and Alana. Since its inception in 1991, Government Degree College Zahirabad has been on a progressive path under the guidance and patronage of Commissioner of Collegiate Education Telangana, with initiatives to bring the quality education and skills development with various programs and activities. The college is now offering 8 programs with CBCS system in the BA, BCom and BSc streams in English, Telugu and Urdu medium. With a strength of about 800 students under co-education, the college is affiliated to Osmania University, Hyderabad, and got second cycle NAC accreditation with B+ grade recently and got A grade in Green Audit. On behalf of principal, faculty and non-teaching staff and students and people of Zahirabad, I welcome all the guests, dignitaries, scholars, paper presenters and media for today's one-day national seminar on the topic of political engagement of underprivileged communities, authoritative allocation of values in India. This seminar is organized with the financial assistance of Telangana State Council for Higher Education Hyderabad, RUSA Hyderabad and ICSSR Hyderabad. I thank all these institutions for providing the financial assistance to have deliberation on this important social issue. Regarding the topic of seminar, we know that there are many socio-economic, political, geographical, and other reasons which are responsible for creation of underprivileged sectors in our society. It is the responsibility of the nation, the policy makers, and the people to provide proper education, employment, opportunities, and freedom to the underprivileged sectors of the society to bring equality in all aspects and for the formation of a better society. For real and speedy progression, we had to work on it in a systematic and a planned way. I hope that the deliberation in today's seminar will bring fruitful results to have ideas to build an equality-based society and nation. I congratulate the seminar organizers, the convener of seminar, Dr. Muhammad Ghaus, who is a postdoctoral scholar in our college, having specialization in social inclusion, the Department of Political Science, and the entire college who work as a team for organizing this wonderful nation seminar. I thank our beloved Commissioner, Mr. Naveen Mittal sir, IAS, who inaugurated this program seminar by speaking online through the Zoom meeting, and I thank to all the participants. Thank you.
कितना अच्छा लाइफ है मैडम लाइफ है
Thank you so much, sir. Now we have release of newsletter by the dignitaries of that.
अरे उनका है साहब लाइफ चल दिख रहा ना जी नहीं दिख रहा बैठा आ रहा हूँ साल गई कुछ अगर आ लियो मैं फॉर्मल लेने वाला तो अरे कहीं तो नहीं अरे फायदा मेरे यार जो फायदा मारो
This is the newsletter of our college, consisting the activities from June to September. We have covered our activities in a 20-page colored newsletter. It will be available on our website and will continue to publish the newsletters of our college activities.
Thank you, sir, for having the release of this newsletter. Is a unique activity of this college. So credit goes to our principal. Now, I think I have the privilege to have this book releasing and the book of political empowerment of Muslims in India, participation and representation. I'd like to call Dr. Azhar Khan sir, who is from Bangalore University, to have at least 1 or 2 minutes about the book. Then we will release the book, sir. This is a guy from Political Science Department of Hyderabad Central University, and working in the Faculty of Law of Bangalore University. Is a two-graded dentist. I request him to brief about only 2 or 3 minutes before release.
First of all, I would like to thank each and everyone for providing me this an opportunity. Indeed, Dr. Ghaus Saab has worked a lot in coming out this book. In fact, I would like to say to this august audience that this book has been awaiting for many years. In fact, it is one of his premier work of his PDF, which has been now converted into a book format. And the work which has gone behind this is very meticulous, and it has taken quite long time, and so many people have put efforts behind this. And with the help of Ghosh Saab, finally the book has come into the shape and it is seeing the light of the day today. Primarily, the book talks about the issues of participation and representation. Of course, our larger title is Empowerment of Muslims in India, though our data, primary data, and as well as to a large extent secondary data we have collected from Telangana itself, which talks about the underrepresentation of minorities, particularly Muslims at state level and national level. And Dr. Ghosh Saab has been very meticulous in taking the data not just from the state level, but also from the district level, taluk level, and even his book also has the data from the Gram Panchayat level also. So therefore, you could see if one reads the book, they will clearly understand the disparities are from the top to bottommost, administrative units, of our country and particularly of the state. Apart from that, the very important part is the book covers the theoretical arguments. What is the need and why our underprivileged communities in our country needs to be represented. What is their share? The issue of democracy or the idea of multiculturalism, the idea of inclusive society and development, and taking forward each and everyone who are part and parcel of this country is argued vehemently. And apart from that, very importantly, the literature review. I would like to say to the august audience on the stage and after that here that the literature review covers quite lot of literature from the international level to national level and even to the state level. Perhaps Ghosh Saab has not left any stone unturned in finding out the meticulous literature, which very much supports the primary data and secondary data and the argument that why empowerment today is very, very important. Finally, the last but not the very the heart of the book is perhaps the ways forward, because I believe and to a large extent academia believes that what is the way forward now. We understand, we know the challenges, we know the issues. Everybody talks about it, from the common man to academician to vice chancellor and even to our political representatives. We all speak about the challenges, issues, and as well as the barriers faced by the different communities. But what is the way forward? How should we move ahead from this? So these are the very important points which Ghosh Saab has taken up, and a long list of, particularly the last 2 chapters are devoted entirely for the suggestions and comments, and in which not just we have taken from Sachar committee, Kundu committee, or even Ranganath Mishra committee, and even many committees formed in Telangana state itself. Okay, we have taken all the recommendations, we have collated them, and also added many such resources. And Ghosh Saab has had the benefit of interviewing quite a large number of audience in this regard from different aspects of life, and therefore the book is very rich in terms of resources and will be very helpful for bureaucrats, academicians, politicians, lawyers, okay, or anybody for that matter who is interested in social and economic affairs of minorities. So thank you very much, for giving me this opportunity.
आमिर
हाँ पकड़ो।
तो
क्या करूँ इसमें? आमिर इसमें ले तो इसमें ले आमिर आमिर।
So the launch of the book written by Ghosh sir, Political Empowerment of Muslims in India, Participation and Representation. A big applause.
आमिर इसको ऑन करना। ऑन है?
I request all the dignitaries and the dais to join for the recitation of the flag. One by one. I request Professor C. Ganesh, sir, Principal Arts College, to receive the honor. Yes. Last is okay.
अरे फोटो देख देख
Now I request Professor Muzaffar Asadi, sir, Dean Faculty of Arts, Mysore University. Yes. Now I request Professor Sadeem Fatima, Dean UG ZHB Manu, to accept the honor. Now, request Professor Afroz Alam, Head Department of Political Science, Manu, to receive the honors.
अरे ये क्या कर दिए?
Now I request Dr. Aslam Faruqi, Principal of our college, to receive the honors. Big round of applause.
मेरे हाथ में
Surendra Reddy, sir, is here. Yeah, please come on to the desk. Now I request Dr. V. Ravindra Reddy, Vice Principal of this college, to receive the honors. Yes. Now, I request Dr. Muhammad Daud, convener of this program, seminar, to receive the honors. Big round of applause.
पीछे हटो। आमिर हटो जी, आमिर जरा पीछे हटो जी।
Now I request Dr. Surender to receive the honors. Now I request Dr. P. Venkatramana to come on to the dais to receive the honors. Now we have vote of thanks by Vidyasagar, P. Vidyasagar. K. Vidyasagar, I'm very sorry.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Waiting for lunch? I think so. If not, you are blessed. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. First of all, I honestly, heartily congratulate the Department of Political Science of this college and HOD and the team members of this of the department. I'm lucky to have, first of all, this meeting. Political engagement. Political engagement is a really wonderful topic. Normally, it is not only confined to Muslims, confined to SCs, BCs, Adivasis, and other communities who are suffering. Yeah. Lucky to have that. I am also part of that political, socio-political engagement as a Telangana Vidyavatara Vedika member, Telangana Joint Action member, as well as All India Christian Council State President. So I know all these civil societies issues. Particularly in the meeting also, I think you forgot one aspect. That is Dalit Christian reservation and Dalit Muslim reservations. It is in the table of Supreme Court. Very soon we are going to get a favorable judgment in favor of those communities. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. First of all, on behalf of our beloved principal and convener and organizing committee, I would like to thank our honorable chief guest, Sri Naveen Mittal, Honorable Commissioner of College Education, Telangana, for giving permission to conduct today's national seminar and also praised us with his kind words by giving very resourceful address through online. We are very much grateful to God, the Almighty, for providing a resourceful and a great visionary for the development of higher institutions at Telangana State. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of the Organizing Committee, I convey deep regards and heart thanks to the distinguished guest who is absent today, Professor R. Limbadri, Honorable Chairman, Telangana State Council of Higher Education, for supporting us to make this national seminar a grand success. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I am also thankful to our special guest, Professor Sanin Fatima Madam, Director, UGC HRDC Manu, for gracing this occasion with your presence. Thank you, ma'am. On behalf of the Organizing Committee and the Principal, my sincere thanks to our special guest, Professor Muzaffar Asadi, Dean Faculty of Arts, Mysore University, for giving a very wonderful keynote address at this seminar. Thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence. Thank you so much, sir. I am also thankful to our guest of honor, Professor Afroz Alam, Head, Department of Political Science, Manu, Hyderabad, for gracing this occasion with your presence. Thank you so much, sir. I'm also very much thankful to Professor Ganesh Garu, the Principal of Arts and Social Sciences, Usman University. We will ever remain grateful to you, sir, and we thank you for being with us today. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of the Ordinance Committee and the Principal, sir, I am conveying deep regards and heartfelt thanks to our beloved Principal and Chairman of today's National Seminar, Dr. Mohammad Aslam Farooqi, sir. Sir has helped us in obtaining the necessary administrative approvals for organizing the event in our campus. He has supported in all possible manners to organize this national seminar, and also for his constant help and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. We will ever remain grateful to you, sir, for making this program a grand success. On behalf of our Ordinance Committee, I convey deep regards to and hearty thanks to Dr. B. Ravindra Reddy Garu, Vice Principal and Academic Coordinator of this college. Words are not enough to thank his constant guidance and support to shape the national seminar, sir. At this juncture, I would like to also thank our beloved colleague and a convener of today's national seminar, Dr. Muhammad Gaus, sir, Assistant Professor of Political Science of this college, who struggled and designed these scholarly works. Words are not at all enough for his struggle, because he has designed 2 months before only. Because of little delay, we could make it success this day. So I am very thankful for his constant guidance, support, and encouraging all the staff to participate in this wonderful program. Not only staff, and students also. I would like to thank our beloved colleague, Dr. P. Surinder sir, co-convener and a lecturer in political science of this college, who has coordinated, cooperated, the convener in making this program a grand success. We are also thankful to all delegates who have participated in this seminar, and all the best to you in your presentation in upcoming technical sessions. On behalf of the Ordinance Committee, I convey my deep regards and hearty thanks to Ms. Santoshi Virala, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Tara Government Degree College, Sangareddy, for attending and coordinating as a moderator for today's national seminar. I am very thankful to all funding agencies for sponsoring today's national seminar. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to organize it without their support. On behalf of our beloved Principal, sir, and the convener, I am thankful to all coordinators and members of all committees for all necessary arrangements, particularly Registration Committee, Physical Arrangement Committee, Hospitality Committee, Food Arrangement Committee, Felicitation Committee, Logistics Committee, and Discipline Committee. And also I am thankful to non-teaching staff. Without them, we could not run this program in a decent way, in an organized way. So we are very thankful to non-teaching staff of this college. We are also thankful to the students who gave wonderful time by being here and blessed by learning a new understanding of inclusiveness and exclusiveness. And I'm thankful to directly, indirectly, the press people, particularly press people, because they have come all the way to record our program and to go into publish that one. So I'm thankful to each and everyone for participating, making this program wonderfully and in a grand success. Thank you so much. I close this vote of thanks instead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. This was the beginning. I request Kiran Mai Madam to join the plenary session.
ये मेरे प्रिंसिपल टेबल पे रखा गया था.
Plenary session will goes up.